Yeah, welcome back to Marvel Contest of Champions news. I don't know, I really don't know what that is. I've had a couple of drinks. It's been a stressful day. I'm just enjoying myself, you know. But we've got news to report, so let's get serious. Our first story, and to lead off with, it's all about the 5-star Electro that was put in as the featured Grandmaster. It was a bit of a surprise to the community, and a lot of them were kind of reported, well, if this is indeed the time for Electro being put in, are we going to see other champions being put in? Like Scarlet Witch. A 5-star Scarlet Witch would be absolutely incredible. FYI, Kabam, I've got a Mystic 5-star Awakening gem. Just saying. But it would be nice to see that. The way that the game has changed. Because back in the day, it was a case we go, hey, should we put those champions in at 5-star? No, because they're too powerful against the way the game is currently. But nowadays, if you're thinking about it, they would be fine to be put into the game fairly soon. Electro's not a massive champion to say, right, well, if he's put in, is that damage over time with attacking him going to be a little bit more frustrating? Is it going to mean that the champion is going to be a go-to champion? I wouldn't say that, but I would say a little bit more of a frustrating Alliance Wars defense, especially when you consider that if he's incredibly awakened, then that damage is going to hit hard. Maybe not so hard, but hard to really get on your nerves. Especially with me, like I used to always do the same lane in map 5 of Alliance Quest, and you know, you'd just be like, oh damn, I'm taking loads more damage from this if I attack out at this poxy science. But nowadays, I'm not sure it's going to be too much of an issue. With other champions like Iceman applying damage over time, if you kind of like have that cold snap, then yeah, okay, it could be an equally frustrating thing. So it's quite exciting to see champions like this being added into the game, and long may it continue, especially with the change of meta of the game. It seems more logical to put them in. But what's your thoughts on this? Round off in the comment section below whether or not you want more 5-stars like this from the old school era. You know, I think it'd be a good idea. Next up, and we got the top favorite characters in game currently. I saw this pop up on MCOC Truecost's page, and I was like, okay, let's talk about this. Now, I'm not quite sure where the voting was on these favorite ones. I'm not sure if this is more of an opinion piece by a couple or one individual within the community, but there are a few discrepancies and general opinions which I just don't think represent. Even if you go to the comment section of this particular post, it does show certain people in the community going, well, I feel another champion should be added into this. There's a few ones which I'm like, well, I guess this is applicable in a generic sense, like all champions, but there are a few ones that have been put in there that I just, you know, I'm not sure if I overly agree with. And at the same time, there's ones that are really missed. Now, it's not in any particular order. It is said on this, it's not particular order. Though in the comment section, people are going, oh yeah, I don't know why I've chosen that one first, because that's definitely not first. No, it's not in any kind of order. It's in a random order. But yes, there are a few champions within this that I don't agree with being put into the kind of classification of in the favorites list. There's champions in there like Ghost. There's also Doc Ock. And yeah, they do have a popular backing to them from the community, but I just don't think they're amongst some of the favorite ones. And as well, we've got Hela in, and yeah, good champion, but I, again, don't think of a Cosmic. She's in there as one of the favorite ones. And things will probably all change when it comes to the Venom as well as the Carnage changes, which, you know, we're all as a community very excited to see. Yeah, and there's a few kind of iffy ones in other sectors as well. I just don't think this properly represents what people actually feel, and it seems more of an opinion piece than a poll or community-based voting scheme. But I'll throw this over to you guys on this, whether or not you agree with this. Go over to the link in the description and make sure you are following Marvel Contest Champions Truecost for amazing content that he does put out. And obviously he does work with other people, so this isn't squarely him. This is working with other people coming to him and saying, you know, can we run this on your particular site? Now, a day doesn't go by when we've got an issue with another champion, and Rhino is in that field. So have you noticed it when you've been fighting off against a Rhino that he no longer becomes unblockable? Now that it was mentioned with this, more fights out of anything when I'm fighting against Rhino, I'm noticing that he's not hitting up that unblockable quite so much, which if you have a Rhino or you've developed your Rhino character a little bit more, then you're like, hey, well, this is like a big issue for me. This is quite a big deal. So hopefully Kabam can look at this and address this. They have said that they have looked into this or will be looking into this, so we can get an answer and get it sorted soon. Don't know why these little changes, you know, alter from update to update. It's kind of weird, but I guess this is Marvel Contest of Champions, and expect the unexpected and the totally batshit crazy and weird. Next up, and a bug that seems to be happening, and that is dungeons. I think I've pretty much retired my grind in dungeons just because, like, I'm getting a little bit bored with them. I don't know why. I just don't like this kind of this repetition of content, and yeah, they're cool. I just don't really. I'm not into them. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a me thing, but I'm just not into them as much as other content in game. I would choose arena grinding over dungeons. Again, my own personal preference. But for some people that are grinding out dungeons, freezes are something that happens a little bit more frequently. So Kabam are looking into this, why indeed we are freezing when we're going to grind dungeons out, or maybe the timer kind of goes out and you freeze and it causes issues with further commencement of grinding. Either way, Kabam are looking into this. Hopefully it gets resolved fairly sharply. Next up, and on to an opinion poll. I'm actually getting a little bit frustrated with Rogue, and I'm going to open this up to a future video. A lot of the times when I'm going through the forum, I look at different pieces from people that they kind of like put together a good argument point, and talking about kind of good comic book logic, source material, and talking about the whole kind of meta with game, and how the way that champions interact with other ones, and all the things above that I've just discussed. And one thing being Rogue. Now, this poll here was all about whether or not Rogue should absorb the diamond form of Emma Frost, but as you can see, it's very split at the moment. You know, whether or not you're falling down the line that yes it should or no it shouldn't. It is a very fine line with this. As you can see, they're very close. But it does lead me on to a further point, and that is my whole problem with Rogue. When Rogue was introduced as a character, it came at a point when she was able to absorb a good chunk of like very specific, but not non-specific buff. Sorry, Furies, yeah. Regenerations, yeah. Power gains, yeah. As the game has changed and new champions been added in, what she absorbs has become very specific, and it's not generic. And there's a bigger picture here with this particular argument point, which I'll transfer into a video at a later date. And we'll be looking at source material. We'll be comparing off with how the game has changed at the meta side of things, what buffs have been put in, and what effectively on a character's signature ability and the whole makeup of the champion that have been introduced that Rogue can absorb. And the answer at the moment is none, or very little. But we'll talk about this in another video. But I just want to bring this to your attention. What do you think about the idea that Rogue could absorb the Emma Frost form, the diamond form? But I'll leave that over to you. The link is in the description to go over to the poll and have your say. Which brings me on to this week's featured, which is shit. So just to talk about Rogue. Oh god. And she's in as a 5-star featured. Wow, what are the chances of that? Yay, get a champion that's going to be great for absorbing all the current buffs that are coming in, of all the signatures, of all the champions that are fairly fresh in the game. And she's very specific. So, yeah, okay. But at least she was one of the favorites, so that's a little bit of a positive. So, yeah, okay, back to business. And the 5-star, I suspect, because she's a good champion. Like I even know, like, I've knocked her a little bit, and I do have her, and I do love her. I use her in Alliance Quest all the time. I do think that she's a great champion, and I see her going for anything around about the 30 mil mark. You could put in about 35 mil to be safe. I worry that then she'll probably go for about 25 mil, but 35 mil I think is going to be absolutely safe for the champion. And the 4-star version, probably going for anything over the 5.5 mil, 6 mil mark. And then we've got the Sabretooth, the basic, which I think is probably going to go for anything around about 2.6 mil. I'll stick my neck out of the line and say 2.6 mil for the Sabretooth in the basic. It's a good chance to get a decent basic. And if you're looking to grind, 2.6 mil to 3 mil. 3 mil I think is your safe mark. With that, look for that. But I think you'll probably go for about 2.6 mil, but 3 mil to be safe. Yeah. That's been your Marvel Contest of Champions news for the 19th of September 2018. It's rather late that I'm putting this out, but I've been hanging out with a mate, got down the pub, had something to eat, had something to drink, And at the same time, probably last news before I go to Scotland. So yeah, looking forward to flying up there and going to Edinburgh. So if anybody is about, follow me on Twitter, because now that I'm off work, I can actually devote some time to kind of doing stuff like on Twitter, Instagram, and other stuff. So follow my Instagram, follow my Twitter for announcements of like where I am, what I'm up to, and as well I'll be doing a vlog of what I've been up to in Edinburgh. And the other thing is to say that I've got loads of content covered. So each and every day I've got 10 videos to go out. You'll get 2 a day. One will be a Marvel Contest Champions related video. We're doing an opinion piece on have Kabam killed off Mystics. Are 4 stars dying? Some real kind of like decent opinion pieces with some research. And as well some PS4 content and loads of other crystal openings as well. So I've got you covered, guys. I've got you covered. There's PS4 content, there's Dungeon Hunter Champions content, there's MCOC content. I've got you covered, and it's probably going to see you through till next week whilst I relax and at the same time enjoy this trip to Edinburgh. So yeah, thanks very much for supporting this video, the channel, and can't wait for a break. So intense. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. I've been RichTheMan. Like, subscribe, and I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.